Hey everybody, Mary Transformed here again, and today I'm doing something really different. I've never reviewed a Masterpiece figure before, and not really going to start now, as this is actually the KO Masterpiece of Wheeljack, specifically the Takasa Tony version. Now, I know Takasa Tony's got at least decent value as far as the KOs go, and this is a really good price considering the official Wheeljack is around $60. This one only cost me $26, I believe. $26, $28, a little under $30. Let's go with that. And as far as the box goes, from what I can see, it's pretty much a really nice copy of the Masterpiece box. Like I said, I don't have any official Masterpieces myself. I can't really afford them. But besides the Takasa Tony logo, it looks like the real box from the pictures I've seen and the videos I've seen. You can see everything it comes with down there. Masterpiece Wheeljack, Takasa Tony all over, Lancia, blah blah blah. So yeah, here's Wheeljack. And this version does have come with 4 accessories. You do come with Wheeljack's little gun here, a little handgun, laser, whatever you want to call it, a welder. And it comes with this little cannon, as well as the missile, which if you put them together, they do slide together. They have this little slot there. It does form Wheeljack's, iconic shoulder cannon. And finally, he does have this, the dehypnotizer, whatever you call it. I thought it was Wheeljack's toolkit at first. And you can see there's a split going through it, but it doesn't actually open up. That's just where the 2 pieces are molded together, I guess. I haven't been able to get it open, and I haven't seen Belt who has, so. But yeah, this KO does come with the dehypnotizer from the episode where the Autobots were being hypnotized, and Wheeljack invented this to stop them from being hypnotized. So yeah, pretty cool accessory. The only one you can use in vehicle mode really is his cannon, which... hold on, let's see if I can fix that. There is a piece of... There we go. There is a piece that fills the hole right there, but you can see that little tab square right there. That does allow him to put the cannon on top of him in vehicle mode. And the gun can be stored underneath. There's a little slot there that it fits on. But mine doesn't quite fit right. I can never get it to quite lock in. But what it's supposed to do is attach like that and form another exhaust pipe. But mine doesn't really stay. It kind of stays and it just slips back out. So yeah, the accessories, I do also have a KO ratchet. And yeah, the accessories don't always fit quite as they should, unfortunately. But honestly, considering I got this for half the price, less than half the price of the official version, I'm really not going to complain. And for size, go ahead and get size comparison out of the way. Here he is next to the Generations Deluxe Wheeljack, who kind of makes him look like an animated or RID version of Wheeljack with how smooth and it's just like very smooth and sleek and cartoony looking next to the MP version, which is ironic considering this is based on the cartoon one, while this is just a Generations version. But yeah, it makes him look very smooth and sleek by comparison. It's really weird, very cartoony looking now. And here he is next to a KO ratchet. This is not the Takasa Tony ratchet, this is just a KO ratchet. I'm not sure which company made them. But you can see, size comparison wise, they look alright together. I'm not I think that would be at least a decent scale for these 2 vehicles in real life. But he does have a lot of nice details. He does have Lancia Alitalia around the front there. Alitalia. If I'm mispronouncing that, I apologize. He also has it written on either side of the Alitalia, and as well as the full Lancia Alitalia on the back there on the spoiler. He also has Lancia written somewhere. I don't remember. I think it might be in robot mode I'm thinking of. Probably in robot mode. He also has an Autobot logo. That's the only Autobot logo he has in his robot mode. But, pretty nice looking. He does have the nice green stripes going all the way back and coming back around, coming back down with reds going through it. I don't believe this is completely accurate to the cartoon, but it is very nice looking. That is one thing, the paint job is not 100% accurate to the cartoon. A lot of Masterpieces seem to have this thing now where they're kind of going for somewhere between cartoon accuracy and more like a modern version of what the this G1 character would look like. Not like how the Generations would do it, like a simplified one, but more of just like all the detail, everything they can fill in, and kind of has Masterpiece split down the middle. Wheeljack was like one of the middle ones where you have like MP-10 in them and who have heavy details, and you have stuff like MP-30, Ironhide, and Ratchet who are very simple by comparison. Same with Inferno and Grapple. But yeah, he still has all the heavy detail. He has a yellow stripe here, has 539 written on the side. Has a green stripe going around the front. He does have the front bumper plate, I guess. He does have his headlights in the grille. They are painted. Actually, are the headlights painted? It's hard to tell. The wheel rims are red, a nice bright red, which looks really nice. And he rolls very smoothly. He rolls very quietly, thankfully. He is a very quiet roller. It's kind of fun to roll. So, that's all the stuff you can do in vehicle mode. He looks very nice. Oh yeah, and the side mirrors do come as separate pieces when you get them out of the box. I have already super glued them in. Be very careful because they are very tiny and they do break very easily. But yeah, a lot of nice detail. So, since we're done with that, let's go ahead and get on to the transformation. This being a masterpiece, of course, this is going to be very, very complicated. So, expect a long video. So, how we're going to start, going to come to the doors here, and you're going to kind of want to just press on them. You're going to try to get a tab to unpush right there. That tab right there. It can be a little tricky, but once you know where it's at, you don't really want to push up here. It doesn't really seem to do it right. You got to push like at the top of the door, and it'll get them to untab. And that will unlock the whole figure, basically. Because from here, it's a lot easier. That's honestly the hardest part of the transformation right there. You're going to untap from there. It'll untap at the front. And then you're going to bring it down this double hinge. And it might cause the back of the untap as well. Once again, come to the door here. Untab. Bring it down the double hinge. Take these pieces right here. They are on hinges, so you're going to rotate them down. And we'll get to why you do that in a minute. Come to the front here, and right here you have like a kind of the fake front, because when you untab it up here, you're going to tab it right along this little seam right here. It's going to tap in the windshield from the front of the car. You can actually see there's like colors underneath, like forming like where the windshield should have been. And what you're going to do is unhinge the front bumper on double hinges and bring it forward, and that will give you enough room to bring it all down and unfurl his crotch basically, his codpiece, where his freaking legs are, the top of his legs. I'm not sure what you want to call that piece, but you know, this piece down here, that'll come out from under the windshield, and it will tab in like so. Very complicated. It's hard to show it all on camera, but then it gets kind of simple because you're just going to extend the legs out. Very simple. You're going to take the front bumpers here, bring them forward like so. You're going to have that this double hinge kind of lying flat. Then this little piece sticking out the side that was underneath the windshield still flips around to form the flat part of his foot. Going to do the same over here. Just move the double hinge till it's flat. Flip this part around, and it kind of even matches the green stripe, which is pretty nice. Then the shells that were the doors, you're going to bring them out double hinge, you're going to rotate them and bring them down, and there's a peg, and there's a peg hole right above the foot on the back of the leg. Now peg together, and now finish his feet. Show you once again on this side, you're going to want to turn it and bring it on down, peg into the hole right there, and now form his legs. Get this back a little bit. Let's move this on up. Come to the back here. Go ahead and finally we will untab this. It's been untabbing the whole video. We can finally do it now. Bring it back to about a 90-degree angle. Take this piece, this top shell piece, and it will untab just in front of the spoiler. Like so. Now unlock the arms. Come to the bottom. This is also locked in. Take the little tailpipes and just point them straight down. With all that done, you can finally release the sides, turn them at about a 90-degree angle. What you're going to do now is that these wheels will fold up here, but right now his little Wheeljack's wings are kind of in the way. So you're going to they are on small hinges here. You're going to just bring them up just enough for the wheels to set in just right. Just to show you that. And the wheel, the wheel this wheel's a little loose, so it gets caught on the hinge here really easily. But you're just going to finish rotating them in, and with the wings up, it gives them just enough room to flip around to about this angle. They don't go forward. They don't go forward any further, and flatten them back out. You're going to come to the underside here, and untap the arms from the sides of the vehicle, as they were. Well, I guess these were the inside of the vehicle underneath this part up here. And then once you get them out, you're going to go ahead and take this whole piece and make sure these the tailpipes are pointing inward, because they're going to go tuck in right here. Oh wait, actually before we do all that, we actually have to open up the chest here. So Matrix style, we're going to open up the chest on the 2 hinges. The Autobot symbol always comes off on this side, so you always have to open this side first. Open it all up, push the head out, flip it around, close the chest back up, and now we have the room to bring the whole chest down. And what you're going to want to do is you're going to get right behind these little pieces. These little pieces will kind of dig into the body right here, and will kind of help hold it. We'll get to that in a minute. Then this piece will fold up. There is a tab right at the end of here, and there's a tab hole, or a tab hole right there. Now go in right there, and this will sit flat against his back, and that should hold his body together, but you can see it doesn't quite do it. The KO is a little loose. But we'll get to that one in a minute. Finally, take the arms, rotate them, rotate this piece down, rotate the hand down, and you're going to rotate the piece of the spoiler back behind his arm, and then take the hand, rotate it around, and bring the arm down. I'm going to repeat it on this side. Go ahead and rotate the arm around, rotate the spoiler piece down, rotate that piece down to get it out of the way of the hand, bring the hand down, rotate the hand 180 degrees, bring the shoulder on down, and there you finally have KO Matt Takasa Tony Masterpiece Wheeljack in his robot mode. Now we got Masterpiece Wheeljack in his robot mode. Let's go ahead and get size comparisons out of the way. Here he is next to the Generations Deluxe Wheeljack. So you can see he's about a Voyager, about the same size as a Voyager. And you can see much more accurate than the Generations one, of course. Better head too, I think. And of course, here he is next to his fellow Dinobot creator and fellow movie deaf character, Ratchet. Yeah, we lost both of them in the same movie. It's so sad. So sad. And yeah, you can see what I mean. Like, Ratchet has more of the sleek, very simplified, square, blocky look that the newer Masterpieces are going for. Well, Wheeljack's kind of going for more of the, not super heavy detail, but still a lot of detail. A lot more than Ratchet has, at least, especially on the legs and all that. So yeah, he's not like super overly detailed, but there's a lot more details going on, I feel, on Ratchet here, on Wheeljack here. So yeah, this is a Takasa Tony version. One complaint I already have off the bat is that this piece down here at tabs in right here does not stay tabbed in. It's in there, but it doesn't actually hold, because you can see if it actually held, it would keep his arms up. It does not. Not enough to really bug me, but his arms do slightly sink, and what's problem is that when you start trying moving the arms and stuff, these start coming outward, because what was supposed to happen is when this holds it in, it keeps these behind the little clip here, so they can't come outward. But without that, they sag down slightly, and that's enough for the arms to come undone. Unfortunately. And their problem, as you just saw, is his legs are loose. Like, we can go from a full Japanese bow to a full limbo kind of loose. His knees are also loose too. He won't fall over, like he will stand just fine, and he'll hold poses just fine. But like when you're pick him up and move him around, yeah, his hips and knees just do whatever they want. I mean, you can see how his arms are barely moving, but his legs are just losing it. So yeah, they are extremely loose, or not extremely, but they are pretty loose. So those are my two big complaints with this version. Maybe it's just mine, but mine has a loose piece back here and the loose leg joints. Loose leg joints I can work around. You can either tighten them up or they still hold poses fine, so they don't really bug me that they're loose. This is a major problem for me. This right here. I only paid 26 bucks for this. It's a really cheap figure, but this is a major problem. That really hurts his playability just because he won't hold together right. But anyway, let's move on to his accessories. He does have the cannon, which can be held in his hand if you wish. It just kind of sits in his hand. Doesn't really tab in or anything, unlike the other gun. Just sits like that. And you can hold it. But really what you want to do is there's two tab holes above on his shoulders, if they would sit right, and then they don't even want to go. Oh my god, the tire got stuck again. Some issues with this figure. Anyway, tab it into the shoulder, and it looks fine there. It also has a hinge so it can point upward. Didn't show that off in the vehicle mode, but you can have it pointing upward, as I think that's how Wheeljack had it going in the cartoon. He had it pointing upward all the time. Not super high, but you know, we can do it. That's enough you could call it aiming. He does have his gun, which does have a little tab on it. And how that works is you open up his hand, and you can see there's a tab slot on the, going through his hand there. So it can be a little... Oh, ratchet fell over. Can be a little tricky, but you can slide it in. Run, Wheeljack. Ratchet's already gone down. You're next in the movie. You're just gonna... It can be kind of hard to work into his hand, but you can get it tabbed in. And you can now give him a blaster, I guess? I kind of think it's his welding gun, the gun he uses like to kind of fix pots up. That's what I think, especially since like Ratchet comes with a bunch of wrenches and such. And he of course can also hold the hypnotizer. You're just kind of going to lay in his fingers, and then let his fingers close a bit in, and it'll go in his hand. The gun I think looks fine. The hypnotizer I don't like as much because, well, when he tries to hold it forward like he's going to use it, he's holding it straight up in the air. The only way you can actually point it forward is to have it down like this. Unless you get like really fancy with the articulation and like turn this around and then turn his hand around so you have like a backwards going elbow, and then you could have it like held up like that. But he held it up like that in the cartoon. He kind of was like holding it forward like with his hand bent, so... Since he doesn't have that kind of articulation, I don't really care much for his accessory. I kind of just pretend it's his toolbox. I like to just let him hold it and pretend it's his toolbox. Wheeljack, ready to fix anybody up. And it can be kind of hard to get back out of his hand, but right there, of course, it was really easy for me to get back out of his hand. Gun is a bit more tricky. You gotta kind of turn it and then pull it back out at an angle. There we go. More of those extra tabs on either side that we can hold it in either hand makes it a little tricky out of his hand. And as I mentioned earlier, notice that he's not 100% accurate to the cartoon. As I mentioned, he does have like fake bumper colors here, because this whole piece right here, this little triangle here or trapezoid, was where the windshield was, and you can see it kind of continues the colors to kind of give it a look like it extended outward like that, which is pretty nice. I know the colors on the chest are not 100% accurate to the cartoon, but those are the right colors, so I don't really mind it. This definitely still says Wheeljack to me. I really like how they handled the color scheme on him. I don't have the screwdriver to show it, but I do know he still has the alternate Wheeljack face behind his faceplate. I have seen somebody else open it up, and he does have like the other face behind the faceplate, but unfortunately I don't have the screwdriver to take it off. But if you wanted to know, you just had to take a screw, unscrew it back here, and you'd be able to pull the front of the face off. I think his ears come with it too. And I think right there is where it starts coming off at, but yeah, you can take the faceplate off if you so wish. As far as articulation goes, his wings do have a hinge so they can go down and up, and they're on that hinge that goes backwards like that. But honestly, you're just gonna kind of leave them there because that's what Wheeljack had his wings at. It does kind of bug me that they are clear plastic. I wish they were silver, because in the cartoon they were kind of a grayish silver. I get what they're going for, kind of like an Energon wing kind of thing, but I don't know. I'm kind of used to seeing them as kind of solid. Anyway, his head does rotate fully, although I'm not sure why he would look in that direction. He's just looking at his own cannon. And he can look up a decent amount. He can't really look down any, but he can look up, and I mean, considering he's one of the shorter Autobots, that's really makes sense. He can look up at Grimlock and Ratchet. You do get a rotation at the shoulder, but it does bump into the wings, but, you know, just adjust the arm for that. And as you see, his arm does go outward, no ratchets or anything, just kind of goes outward. Swivels, plenty, yep. Elbow is 90 degrees, and because of the transformation, you do get a full rotation at the wrist, although the kibble can kind of bang together in certain positions, so you can still get it all the way around. Fingers do open and close, and all four are connected. He does have a trigger finger, if you want to call it that. He has like one finger kind of sticking up a little bit, if you can see that. His hands can go outward, kind of, due to the transformation. You can kind of get that going, and you can go inward slightly, so you can have it going back and forth if you want to use that. You do get a waist swivel, which works really well. You do get forward motion. You do get full backward motion. You get about this far. I mean, not a full split, but pretty far. And you do get a rotation just under that. And you get a knee joint, 90 degrees. Works great, despite it being loose. And finally, he does have really good eco articulation. Due to the double hinge, you can bring it down. You can have it go fully forward like that. You can have it go that far backward. When it's flat, it doesn't go quite as far forward. It doesn't go forward much at all. It only goes that far backward. But, you know, if you bring him down a bit to use the double hinges, you can get much wider poses with his feet. And he does also, of course, go outward. And the whole joint goes outward. They are on these little hinges here. And you can see, you can actually do a full... The feet can reach a full split even if the hips can't. So, but you can still get this kind of crazy pose going. Which looks completely ridiculous. Looks like he broke his ankles. But, you know, you can do it if you wish. Some people... I know some of my friends have asked if you can open up the chest in robot mode. And you cannot. You can't have like a Wheeljack doing the Matrix style chest opening thing. Because the shoulder pieces are in the way, so you can't open up the chest while he's in robot mode. But, you know, for a knockoff, I think this is a really, really good representation of Masterpiece Wheeljack. Is it perfect? No. Like I said, the hips and the knees being loose don't personally bug me because he can still hold poses, but I'm sure it'll bug some people. I know there's plenty of people out there who don't like loose articulation like that, and there's going to be plenty of people like me who cannot stand that he doesn't actually hold together right. And there is one thing that bugs me the most in Transformers is when a Transformer can't actually stay in its mode properly. And granted, I can just put a little bit of nail polish on the end there. The only reason I haven't tried that yet is because I wanted to leave it loose for this review just to show off that issue. And like I said, it's just standing there, you really can't tell that's loose. His shoulders look like they're actually about right, honestly. You can tell they're a little sunken down, but not enough to really bug me. It's just more when you're messing with him, he starts having the freaking shoulder coming apart. And then you have the wheel get in the way, trying to put it back together. But besides that issue, he is a really, really good representation of Masterpiece Wheeljack. If you cannot afford the $60 official one, go for this one. I see him on eBay for $30 and $20. I see him go for between $25 and $30 on different places. AliExpress had him for $30, I believe. There's a lot of places, Wish.com even. Like I said, you can find them really easy on eBay. Just look up KO MP Wheeljack or whatever you want to put it as. Or MP-20, I guess. By the way, if you're wondering what kind of car he is, he's a Lancia Stratos Turbo. So yeah, there, for that information. So yeah, I think Wheeljack is a really, really good figure. Even though he's a knockoff. I think Takasa Tony has done a really great job bringing it over at a cheaper price. The looseness stuff does bug me, but considering I saved $30 on him, I really don't feel like I can complain, and I feel like I still got my money's worth. So, this is Masterpiece Wheeljack, and this has been, oh, and he fell off his box. Poor Wheeljack. So, this has been Nerdy Transformed. I hope you enjoyed this review, and I hope you have a good day. Take care.